Hey guys, welcome back to another great tutorial. I am so excited to go over this with you today. So we built our biome in the last couple of videos. If you haven't already checked those out, go ahead and check that out on the top right corner. I'll go ahead and put that there for you. But in this video, what we're going to go ahead and do is build on our brand new desert biome. I'm going to show you how to build. We're going to go into detail on how to choose prefabs to get inspired by our building. So let's go ahead and dive into this right away. Here we go. All right, so the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is go through prefabs. We're going to go look through these prefabs and decide what we want to build on our desert biome. In this case, I want to use the Pablo gallery. I think it's great. It reminds me of that little area next to Paradise Palms. Some people called it Westworld. I love that little area right there. So I want to recreate that. I want to be inspired. So what I'm going to do is put a few of these prefabs into my quick bar, and I'm going to link to you how to use a quick bar if you don't already know how to in the top right corner. Then once we have those quick bar items, we're going to go ahead and place them above our desert biome, just anywhere above. And we're only going to use this for inspiration, guys. We're not going to actually place prefabs on the map. I don't like doing that because to me, it's just not as creative. Now, the good news is you could just place these prefabs on your map and be done, but I like a challenge. So let's go ahead and start taking elements from these prefabs and bring them over to our map. Guys, if you could like and subscribe to my channel, you have no idea how much that would mean to me. Just hit that like if you feel like the content I am providing is awesome. All right, so what we're gonna do is not that. So let me explain what just happened here. Now, in a previous video, I put down a piece that basically locks that floor in place. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it again in this video. Feel free to skip ahead if you've already seen this, but it's important that I show you this mistake. You need a piece just like this one placed on grid snap 16 as high as you can get without it revealing itself. Then you can build your ground. What that means is you cannot build your floor on that piece because that is a piece that is reliant on holding up that entire level. Does that make sense? So you want to leave that as desert. You don't want to build there, but you can build in front of it like right here. So that's perfect, right? But do not build anything but a terrain piece over that hover piece. There's no better way to explain it than if you do that and somebody breaks the piece under it, then that entire top floor will crumble like you just saw. So you don't want to do that. But you could see here, I'm already speed building. And so this is what I love to do, guys. I like to build shells first. Even if there's no doors yet, no windows, that's okay. Because all you're really trying to do at the moment is build a shell. How big do I want the floor to be? How much do I want this to take up? So like I noticed here, I want it to be big, but not too big, right? Because it's a pretty big building. And I want to make sure that the second floor isn't the exact same size as the first floor. So there's a lot of cool things you can do. I love building shells of buildings first because then I really get a moment to figure out how I want this to look on my map before I start doing tons of design and tons of detail work. So I'm speeding along a little bit here, and the reason for that is I want to show you certain things. Like, for instance, I'm building a connector here. So what I've been doing is plotting buildings around the map, deciding where I want to place things, and I've decided that these are great placements. I love the idea of having a balcony up top there. We're just slowly building this out and making it home and making it our Pablo area, or whatever we're going to name this POI. We'll get into that in a little bit. And now you're seeing I'm adding doors in. And what I'm doing is I'm just grabbing from the prefab and I'm choosing where I want my windows to be. I'm choosing where I want my doors to be. I want to be able to create this area that's reminiscent of Chapter 1, but I also want it to be unique. Now, once you've placed your doors, you're gonna wanna go ahead and just continue along, right? You're now just creating your balconies, kind of finalizing those with the balcony pieces here. Basically, you're just stealing ideas from the prefabs, but they're still original because you're building them, which is great because then it's not just like throwing a prefab down and going, all right, here's my Battle Royale map. And you're like, wait a minute, that's literally ripped from Chapter 1 or Chapter 2 right out of the map. That's not fun. So I always say use prefabs as inspiration, but don't use prefabs. That's just me. You may want to just speed through something and build it. I don't blame you. This is a lot of work. It's a lot of detail work. It gets exhausting. I get it. one thing you're gonna have happen when you're building maps is you're gonna regret building something and decide you're going to change it. I don't like where I place this ramp. In the past video I did on how to build the biome, I actually want to put it over here. I think putting it over here is a much better idea, and the reason for that is because I want the ramp to be clear and I want it to lead to the front door of this place, right? So I've decided that this is the better place for this ramp. I want to open up the map a little bit more and not make it so congested there in the middle. I can do that if I go ahead and rip apart part of the terrain I built. All I'm doing now is deleting the old version there and blocking it off here. And look what I've done there, guys. I've opened up the map. Now what I can do is actually build another Pablo building right there on the left because I have extra space. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. And as you can see, I'm just looking on where I'm going to place this newfound home that I have made room for. Looks like we found a perfect spot for it, and that is where I'm going to place it. So I'm going to build this out just the same way I've been building out the others. I'm putting windows in areas where it's easy to snipe people, it's easy to not hide as well. I do these things on purpose. I don't want this to be a hide and seek map. I want this to be a Battle Royale map. So I'm purposely placing windows where you're not 100% secure. You shouldn't feel 100% safe. I'm also stealing literal kitchen elements and bedroom elements and living room elements out of the Pablo gallery and placing it in. Guys, look at how easy this is. And just like that, I've placed the Pablo gallery in, and this is me just being very detail oriented. I like things to line up against the wall. And so there it is, guys. We did it. So now I'm just grabbing table and chairs. Just look at how easy that is, though. You don't have to go and set it up yourself. You don't have to put a lot of work into this. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and place that down right there. Done. And I could even throw a chest up there if I want on that table. But what's so great about this is you're not reinventing the wheel. You're just taking elements from the prefabs and putting them in here. Now going over to galleries, let's go to the Pablo prop gallery. These are going to have certain props that we did not find in the prefabs, like this fountain, for instance. So we can grab that fountain, really kind of resonate with the old Pablo area in chapter 1. Put that as our centerpiece. But what's great when you go into these galleries, these prop galleries, you can find additional props that aren't in the prefabs. For instance, there's this wheelbarrow, which I remember from chapter 1. So I want to give it more of that chapter 1 vibe. We can also place things like this water tower right here, decide what is best for this water tower, where does it work, what makes sense. And I've decided right over here makes more sense. I like it. It's more open there. It's more out in the open. And what I want to do with that space right there, I want to really go way back to chapter 1 here and put in an ATK. You remember that ATK that they used to put in there in chapter 1 at Westworld. And I want it to be reminiscent of that. And I'm going to have it face the correct way there. This is exactly what I wanted for my map. I love it. All right, one thing I don't want to overlook here is attention to detail. So let's finish up our building by adding this one little weird looking piece here in the Pablo gallery. It's this little white piece right here. And when you put it down, it kind of just fixes these cracks. So you'll see me place one there, and you'll see me place one there. And now you'll see how flush that looks. See, it looks complete, that little piece right there. You can go ahead and add it to all the corners of your buildings. In a past video that I will link right here, I went over how to create POIs for your map. We'll just do a quick recap right now. I'm going to paste one that I already created in the previous video that I linked there on the top right. You go ahead and customize one you've already created. That way all you have to do is change the name. What I'm going to do here is change this to Vicious Valley. I think that will be very fitting for this desert-like area. Now, we're getting close, guys. We're getting close. It's looking really good, but we're not there just yet. What I want to do is put some finishing touches here. It looks good, but it doesn't look complete. So what are we going to do to finalize our new POI? So what we're going to do is go into the nature gallery, and then we're going to go ahead and choose the desert nature gallery. Cactuses. I'm going to put a lot of cactuses down. I think this is going to be a really nice touch. So I'm going to go ahead and speed ahead here. And guys, as I notated before, rotating the cactuses really helps. That way you can go ahead and place cactuses around the map. They don't look super perfect next to one another. You don't want them to line up perfectly. So moving them around, just rotating them slightly will help make them not look too redundant. I'm finishing off with just a nice little cactus tree that I found in the gallery. I think it's really nice. It brings together the map. You can see what I've done here, guys. It looks pretty nice. We've created an entire POI together in 3 different videos, and I think this has come together so well. I'm so glad glad we took the time to do this. I hope you learned a lot in this video. I know I had a great time doing it. If you have any questions, comments, please ask below. Please also let me know if there's any other videos you'd like me to make. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like the content you see, please like and subscribe. Until next time, take care.